Hello, my name is Manatut, and I'm a senior technical writer and head of documentation here at PSPDFKit. Thank you very much for joining this webinar about the Salesforce SDK. The way this webinar is going to go, I will show you recording about the functionalities of this SDK and show you the installation quickly. And then towards the end of the webinar, we will have a Q&A session. Please feel free to ask questions in the chat in the meantime, and we will answer that in the chat as well. But at the end of the webinar, we will have a live Q&A session. So that's how it goes: a live intro, which is this one, and then the recorded part, and then a live outro Q&A. This whole webinar is recorded, and we will send you the link later on. Thank you very much. So I just hit the start button, and please ask any questions you have in the chat. So what I'm going to show you today is first an overview of the capabilities of our Salesforce SDK, so how it can help with your document processing needs within a Salesforce application. Second, I'm going to actually demonstrate to you these capabilities in a sample Salesforce instance that I have just set up for this purpose. And I also show you the whole installation process. So this installation process, I'm going to talk a lot, but even then it only takes 15 minutes. So for you, without any talking, it might take just 5 minutes or less. Lastly, I'm going to show you the full capabilities of our PSPDFKit SDK. So all the different things you can do, such as annotations, redaction, signatures, and everything that would satisfy your document processing needs. So let's get started with the overview. So the Salesforce SDK is basically a way to use PSPDFKit within Salesforce to open your documents, edit them, and save them back to Salesforce. So that's very simply put on all your document processing needs, and then you have a visual user interface in which you can do that. But what is even more exciting is that you can do that all programmatically as well. So you can develop on top of we provide you with a sample app which allows you to do all this visually, but on top of that, you can develop your own solutions. For example, a button at a certain part of the page, when you click it, it opens a document for an account and fills it with information and saves it back to Salesforce. There are a few important points to note about the Salesforce SDK. One is that it is developed in the Lightning Web Component framework. So this is something you can use for Salesforce Lightning, and you can easily adapt it to your own needs. It also works in all Salesforce contexts, not just within sales, and it runs entirely within Salesforce without any external dependencies. So no data or documents leave the Salesforce platform when you're using our Salesforce SDK. All the document processing happens in the memory of the browser on the client side. So nothing is transferred outside of Salesforce in this process. Files can be opened from your local machine, from an external URL, and also from within Salesforce. And these files can be saved back to Salesforce as well, or to your local computer later. So that's because it's a Lightning Web component. I mean, the demo app is a Lightning Web component. It's very easy to modify and to seamlessly integrate in your custom Lightning UI, or even deploy that to AppExchange and share it within your organization. Just a quick word about the file types we support. So you can open PDFs and images in Salesforce. And the image file types we support are JPEG, PNG, and TIFF. So what I'm going to show you next is how it all works in an actual Salesforce instance. So this Salesforce instance has the sample app we have developed. You don't need to use it, but it makes getting started definitely easier because it already has the basic capabilities like opening and saving a file through the UI, and on top of that, you can develop your own components. So let's get started with the actual demonstration. I'm going to share my screen, and what you see here is, for example, a Salesforce instance. I just pulled this data from Trailhead, so most of it is dummy data, all of it, and I have installed PSPDFKit on this, which I show you in a minute how to do. So the simplest way you can work with PSPDFKit using the UI is to go to the PSPDFKit tab. And this gives you an option to load a file from the local storage or from Salesforce directly. The file types we support are image files like JPEGs, PNGs, and TIFFs, or PDFs. For this demonstration, I'm going to load a simple form. As you can see, I can already work with it and fill in the form, and also I can do all kinds of things with it that I can normally do with the PSPDFKit. So I can annotate to it, highlight it, add signatures. There are all kinds of things I can do. Add notes to this, add shapes. Yeah, basically anything you would normally do with a document is supported by PSPDFKit. The use case, however, what is most important for Salesforce, and I have butchered this document, is basically fill in this form, sign it, and send it through an email. So that's, of course, something you can do as well. So this is something I'm just making up, first and last name. I can add my signature. Looks very nice. And I can save it back to Salesforce. File saved successfully. And from this point, I can open this same file using this file picker. So these are all the Salesforce files available to me. I mean, all the files stored in Salesforce. So that's one way to work with our SDK. You can also open the files tab. This will also list you all the files you can work with. If you go to the records page, which you can access by view file details, you can also add this little button here, edit file with PSPDFKit. So instead of using the default PDF viewer provided by Salesforce, you can use PSPDFKit's own viewer. A third way to open files is to go to accounts, open an account, and then you see, for example, this form has already this account has already a form attached to this. And then the way you can open this file easily is to click here and go edit files with PSPDFKit. And this will show you all the files available for this account. And if you click edit with PSPDFKit, again, open this file in PSPDFKit, and you can save it, make modifications to the file and save it just as I showed you before. So these are just the basic capabilities we provide in our sample application. Of course, there are endless ways you can extend in it and develop your own app, and that's the whole point of an SDK. So you can easily take all this, and we provide a documentation for it, how to do it, and also build on the sample app to, for example, develop a button and run PSPDFKit in headless mode, so that you, by the click of the button, you make modifications to a file, such as filling information from this account page, like the account name, the address, and fill in that invoice, sign it, save it, and send it through email. Let's take a quick look at some of the more advanced features of PSPDFKit. So now you can open this form with PSPDFKit. And basically, this is your toolbar. And I'm going to start with rearranging the pages of this in this document. So I'm changing the order of the pages in this form because I realized that it's better on the workflow, and it's already saved. I can also import a completely new document. So in this case, basically merging two documents together. And I'm going to put the merged document, the imported document first. And as you can see, it all works. Now, I'm going to add an image annotation, which is also very easy in the UI. And I'll resize it and edit just before the form starts. And now I'm going to redact sensitive information from this document. So this is very useful if you have government forms, for example, and you want to remove personal information such as names and addresses. The way to do that in PSPDFKit is to select the text or the area you want to remove, and that is completely removed from the document. It's not just, it isn't just masked, or we don't just annotate over it. It's completely done, and this is not recoverable in any way, even programmatically or visually from the document. The way to do this is to enter a text reduction mode and select the text you want to mark for reduction. Press apply reductions. And it's completely gone from the document. One more tool is the area reduction tool. So for example, here, the signature is something I can also easily remove. I mark it for reduction, I say apply reductions, and it's completely gone from the document. And now I can save all of this back to Salesforce. So this is just a quick demonstration of what we can do. And next, I'm going to show you how you install this. It's as I said before, it's a very simple process. If you put your mind to it without the way not the way I do it when I do it a lot, it takes 5 minutes at the most. So let's see how it's actually done. So now I'm going to show you how to install the PSPDFKit Salesforce SDK to your organization. So for that, basically what you need is our getting started guide and a terminal window. So I'll show you how to find the getting started in our website. So this is the main PSPDFKit website. If you go for the try SDK for free button, you can choose your platform, which is in this case web integrations. You of course want to go for Salesforce, and then you have an option to clone a sample project or use an existing project. So in this webinar, I'm going to show you how to clone, get started with cloning our sample project. It makes a lot of things easier, such as opening and saving back files to Salesforce. But you can implement your own solution on top of our SDK. That's an option for you as well. But if you want to get started with a sample project, which would already have included both basic functionality, I recommend you go with this option. So now let's get started. So a few things I'm not going to explain in this video is the basic requirement. So what you need to do, you need to sign up for a free Salesforce developer account, and install the Salesforce command line interface, and install the latest stable version of Node.js. These are things you can I suppose most Salesforce developers have anyway. So I'll just continue with the procedure that is specific to our own product. First thing to do is to clone the sample project from Git. So for that, we are just going to use a simple Git command. And of course, we'll change the folder where you have cloned it. Now you need to install the PSPDFKit npm module. So this is not included in the Git project for the simple reason that, I mean, it depends on the version of the project and the dependency of the sample application is different each time. So to get the most compatible version of PSPDFKit npm module, you need to run npm install very quickly. It usually or it takes a couple of seconds. And the next step to do is to authenticate to your Salesforce organization. For that, we're going to run this command, which opens in your browser a tab where you can log in with your Salesforce developer credentials. Salesforce asks you if you allow access to our to the Salesforce CLI if this is the first time you use the Salesforce CLI. Of course, in this case, I'm going to allow this. And now I can use the Salesforce command line interface to deploy the package to my Salesforce organization. For that, I need to run this command, which is now uploading the PSPDFKit Salesforce SDK to your Salesforce organization. So this is the step you need to do basically in the code, and it's already finished. After deploying the Salesforce SDK from the terminal, you can actually close the terminal. We don't need that anymore. And I'm going to enlarge this so that you see this better. There are a few more options or steps you need to do in within the Salesforce UI. So I'm quickly going to share my screen in two. So you can see where we're going. So two important steps after this is to enable users to use the PSPDFKit SDK. And for that, you need to go to your settings, go to users and permission sets. So what you're looking for is PSPDFKit admin access. And you have a little button here called manage assignments. So this is where you can add an assignment. Basically, you can add users who can use the PSPDFKit SDK. So I allow myself to use this. I click next, and I assign myself. I just noticed that I'm CEO on this Salesforce org, which is nice. And then I have given myself access to use the PSPDFKit SDK. And the second step is to change the default Salesforce security settings. So for that, you need to go to the security tab, and you're looking for session settings. There is an option here called enable, where is it? Use Lightning Web Security for Lightning Web components, and you need to disable it. So this will mean that there is another security arrangement that Salesforce will use, the default one, instead of this new Lightning Web Security setting. After changing these two settings, you are ready to get use the Salesforce SDK, PSPDFKit Salesforce SDK. For that, you need to search in all apps for PSPDFKit, and this is the simple file picker we have included in the sample app. Of course, you can modify it and change it to your needs, but it does a simple job of opening files from your local storage, or saving it back to Salesforce, or opening the files from Salesforce directly. So for now, I'm just going to open a simple PDF form from my local computer. And as you can see, this viewer has all the, actually, I'm going to make this window bigger. This view has all the capabilities of PSPDFKit. So you can draw or highlight text in the document. You can add your signature, redact text, edit content. You can add annotations to this, or any other form. And you can edit the document as well. For now, I'm just going to fill in a simple form field to show you that this can be saved back to Salesforce. And if you open it, it will also have this form field. So now I'm just going to save. And if I open it again, it has the form field name that I have just given. So this is the very basic capability of this file picker, but you can also do more. So for that, we are going to go back to the documentation. Basically, what you want to do is open documents from Salesforce. There are more options you can add to your SDK. So one is to go to the Files tab, and basically open any document with this button, View File Details. And it will take you to this page. So this is the documents we have seen before. And we are going to go Edit Page. So this will not only edit the page for this document, but for all the other documents. I'm going to enlarge it for better visibility. And what you need to look at for on the left is this PSPDFKit Edit Button Solution. We are going to add it to the page somewhere here. You can choose to edit to open, when you click on this button, it can open it in a new tab, and you can change the color of the button. But for now, I'm just going with the default settings and go Save, activate it, and assign as the org default for desktop for now. And I save this assignment. So now if I go back the files and I go to File Details, I see Edit File with PSPDFKit here as well. And now this is open again in the PSPDFKit document viewer and editor. And I can again change it and save it back to Salesforce just as before. I updated the file. So this is how you open a file from the document record page. There is one more way to open files from Salesforce with the PSPDFKit viewer and document editor. And this is opening files from the account page. This is very useful when you're working with accounts and you want to edit and open files from there. So for that, you go to Setup, Object and Fields, Object Manager. You click on Account, go to Page Layouts, and you go to Account Layout. You need to enlarge this because it's a little bit smaller. You go to Mobile and Lightning Actions, and what you need to find is Edit Files with PSPDFKit, and you need to drag this to Salesforce Mobile and Lightning Experience Actions. So for that, you need to sometimes enable this if you haven't done this before, and drag this here. After that, you just click Save. And if you go back your account and refresh, you should have a little button here called Edit Files with PSPDFKit. So all files related to this account will be editable by PSPDFKit. Now, there are no files as such, so I'm going to upload our form here again. And after that, you can edit any files from here using PSPDFKit. So after opening this document, you can actually start filling this form with information from the account. So in this case, I know that the name of the account is ABBA358 Incorporation. I can put it there. I can fill in the forms of what is ordered, and I can give my signature here. When it's done, I can save it back to Salesforce. And the next time I open this, of course, all of these changes will be saved. So let me show you that this is actually the case. If I say edit files with Salesforce, with PSPDFKit, the information I have just given is saved. So you can do all this manually, of course, but our SDK can also run headless. For that, you need to do most of the development yourself. So this is not included in our sample app. So getting the information from the Salesforce database and filling the PDF form with it. This is something that is a very common use case, and it's very easy to develop with our tool. But there are a plethora of the things you can do, which I'll just show you in a minute. So basically, these are the many ways you can open files in the UI that we have included in the SDK. If you go to the documentation, we also say how to open files programmatically and how to save files back programmatically. So as I have just talked about headless operations in Salesforce, that could be very useful. So the way you open a file from Salesforce, fill it with the data from the Salesforce account and save it back to Salesforce. This can all be done at the push of a button without any visual elements. So again, this is something we enable you to do with our documentation and with our sample project. But the possibilities you can develop based on this are infinite. In the last part of this webinar, I'm going to show you how you can try out all the capabilities of PSPDFKit. So the easiest way to do that is to click on Demo and click Launch Demo. So this launches a nice interactive environment where you can try out all that PSPDFKit has to offer. The Salesforce SDK has the same capabilities apart from OCR reduction, smart reduction, extraction, and instant collaboration. So for those features, you need a server-side solution. Everything else that you see here is included in the Salesforce SDK. I've already shown you annotations. So this is a nice interactive environment where you can try our annotation capabilities. You can try form filling. You can try the editor section. These are all capabilities I've covered before. And if you want to try them out before deploying the Salesforce SDK to a test environment, this is the way to do it. So now this concludes the demonstration part of this webinar. Thank you very much for your attention. Please stay up for the question and answers. Thank you. Oh, hello. So if you have any questions, please post them in the chat. I'm here for you to answer any of the questions you have, if I can. Just give it a couple more minutes because I don't see any questions. But there are no questions right now. Then I would just like to thank you for your attention. It's been amazing to see all of you in this webinar. And yes, the webinar was recorded, and you will receive a link to the full recording later on. Thanks a lot. And oh, there is an option for digital signatures from Lars. Thank you. Does that work with solutions from MIT ID, Bank ID? Ooh, I don't know what MIT ID, Bank ID is. I'm sorry. In this case, if you don't mind, I would actually do some more research and ask the engineering teams and come back to you. I to the top of my head, I'm sorry, I can't answer that question. I know it's not very satisfying. This is something we will need to check. Happy to follow up. All good, thanks. Okay. So exactly, that's what we'll do, and we'll reach out to you at your registered email address. Thank you. Any more questions? You might hear some noise from the background. It's my child. I'm sorry. All good. But thanks a lot for your attention. Have a lovely afternoon, end of the day, or beginning of the day, wherever you are. And yeah, looking forward to seeing you later.